Hey everyone, welcome to Carrie's Garage, and on this episode I'm going to pick up a car that I've wanted since I was a teenager. So when I've got the Suburban hooked up to the empty trailer, you know what that means. I'm picking up another car. This one's kind of a special car to me. I'll go into the story a little bit here later, but got the trailer all set up, got all of my recovery bits, air compressor, winch battery, all my goodies back here. So we're pretty much good to go pick up this car. Well, we're in the Suburban. We're on our way to go pick up the car. It's actually right around the corner from my house. It's only gonna take a couple of minutes to get there. So kind of a quick something. This car I've wanted since I was about 16 years old. It's a good friend of mine, her family actually bought it brand new. I'll go into a much in-depth backstory here in a bit, but today we got Zach with us. Hi. He's gonna help. That's my neighbor. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe I just waved at a goat. Who knows? Anyways, yeah, he's gonna help me out, go pick up the Rambler, and we're gonna have some fun. I'm so excited. All right, so here it is. Not the best camera angle, but hey, I'll change it. So we'll go into a little bit more detail when I get home with the car, but it's a 1960 Rambler American. I have known this car for a long time, I've loved it, and today I'm finally bringing it home. The excitement is very high.
Drag it.
All right, so I went ahead and we loaded up the car, but since this is kind of a special circumstance that I got it from a really good friend, and it's actually a one-owner family car, so we're gonna interview Tristan and kind of get some of the backstory of the car, since she has a really good memory and I don't, and her family was also around the car. So here's Tristan. All right, so tell me what you know about the car.
Well, it's a 1960 Rambler American, but I'm sure everyone already knows that. It started out as the pink, and then, so my great-grandmother, who died in 1998 at age 101, my grandma bought the car in 1960 because she didn't like the 1959 standard version. She couldn't really drive it as good anymore because even in 1960 she was old. So with that, yeah, she got the 1960 version with the 3-speed automatic, and then drove it for a while, and then my dad drove it when he was younger, and it got painted from pink to blue as a self-defense measure. Things were a little different back then in the South Valley. And then after he was done driving it for however many years, Grandpa had it running as a wood splitter. So he had like a wood splitting cone on the drive wheel, and he would start it up and split wood with the Rambler. I got interested in it around maybe 2001 or 2 or so, and so Grandpa and I started working on it because I wanted to get it running and start driving it. So that is about, we rescued it from being a wood splitter and started working on putting it on the road, rebuilt the engine. It's an L-head 6, so we had to do the bolts in order and everything.
I think there was a stuck valve, and your grandpa was like cleaning it and hammering it down a little bit to get it freed, and that's how we got it freed up.
Yeah, so it was definitely having some trouble with figuring out with still splitting wood. It had lost some power. So we started working on the engine, and then I was like, why are we still splitting wood with it? Let's actually drive this stupid thing. So then I had to get like new tires. So it had new tires in 2002. And I think we may have replaced the master cylinder for the brakes. We replaced the fuel pump. We recoated the interior of the gas tank. And then we got stuck because the cinder, there's like a dent on the bottom of the gas tank. So the fuel cinder wouldn't actually suck the fuel correctly. And then we didn't have a filler neck either. And back then, parts for these cars were extremely expensive. So it was a lot harder to like work on at the time.
And also the advent of the different auto parts websites weren't really a thing.
Yeah, there were like 2 auto parts websites in 2002, 2003 that you can really get things from. And I remember buying the fuel cinder. We had to get it special ordered from like New York. From like New York City, there was some junkyard that had a bunch of these, and they sent us one, and it cost, I promise I'm not remembering this incorrectly. It cost $238 for something that ended up being like this big. And I was like, these parts for this car literally cost their weight in gold. Mm-hmm. So it became increasingly difficult to work on because it became increasingly difficult to get parts at the time.
Well, we're back at the house with the Rambler. So I'm going to go ahead and air up the tires. A couple of tires aren't holding air all that well. Gonna unload it off the trailer, and then we'll take a little closer look at it and show you some of the cool stuff about it. All right, well, the Rambler's off the trailer now. Let's go ahead and kind of walk around a little bit, take a little bit of a closer look at it. We'll need a little bit of work. The blue paint over the original pink paint, it's definitely burnt off and faded in some places. I do plan on getting this car completely repainted. Its original Festival Rose, which is a very pastel-y pink. You'll see on the dashboard some of the original color. And here we have the American Motors 195 cubic inch flathead inline 6. It's made it up to a Borg-Warner 3-speed automatic that they called the Flash-O-Matic, which you remember in the interview from just a little bit ago, my friend's great-grandmother had a problem driving the manual 59 Ramblers she had, so that's why she got this one with the automatic. The interior definitely will need some work. Door cards are delaminating, kind of coming apart. Here's one of the fun, quirky things of the Ramblers of this era. They had this monocle speedometer pod with the fuel and temperature gauge in it. They were really popular. They did that for a long time. Oh, another thing, I'll show you real quick. The shifter for the automatic is basically the same as for a manual, but they just added this little pointer thing and then attached this gear indicator onto the dash. And that is the original pink. And that's what the car will be repainted. That's where a radio would go if it had a radio, which I would like to find one at some point. Not much to see back here in the trunk. Got a bit of cleaning to. There's the original gas cap. Years ago, we had a problem with the filler neck, which is a molded one piece. You couldn't find one, but now they're starting to reproduce it. I did order one, so I'll be able to get that put together here soon. And then I got kind of bored for a moment and started wet sanding some of the blue paint, and it is going back to the pink. So I'll probably do that when I get a little bit of free time here and there. So overall, there's the 1960 Rambler. This body style was kind of an upcycle from a mid-50s dash when they were trying to, revive the company. In the late 50s, they weren't really doing all that great, so they came out with this guy kind of as an economy car. It sold quite a lot of them, and it definitely did help out Rambler, but I'm really excited. This, like I said, this car is really special to me. I've loved it for a long time, and it's finally mine. Well, I think that'll wrap it up for the video on the Rambler for now. I'll be doing a lot of work to it, and I'll film getting it back up and running and being able to enjoy it. So thanks so much for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed me picking up the Rambler and checking it out a bit. Got any questions, comments, leave them down below. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Trying to get the subscriber count up a bit on the channel. Really appreciate everyone's support so far, and see you guys next time.